Well, right now, the general sort of environmental conversation taking place on CNN or CNBC or the New York Times is this idea of the problem is gray. We have a gray economy, we have gray pollution, we have gray products, and what we need is green products, a green economy, and green solutions. And, that's the start of a conversation. And it actually gets you into the conversation. We think it leaves some things out. Again, fundamentally, elementary cares about the folks that are most often, most easily left out and forgotten. So for us, we want to add another axis. It's the rich to poor axis. And when you do that, you get this wonderful 2x2 green. Right? See, it's getting interesting. You see that? There's graphics. Stuff to do with it. Yeah, you missed that one. I'm not to call you out, but that's all right. It's all right. You have to ask your neighbor. You have to ask your neighbor. You missed that one. Yeah, but she's ahead anyway. She's already winning. So, in this square, when people mostly talk about this problem of climate change in general, what do they talk about? How do they talk about this? What do they talk about? What are the concerns? Carbon footprint. Global warming. And
melting ice cap.
Melting ice cap. That's what I was looking for. She's catching up. Be careful. She fell asleep, but
Polar bears.
Polar bears drowning at the poles. Now, at the Elevator Center, I want to be really clear with you. We do not take this lightly. The polar bears quite possibly were here before us. There are other animals. Imagine your favorite animal, the one that might be your totem. You got it? Share it with me.
Dragonfly.
Jaguar, wolf.
Dragonfly.
Dragonfly.
Wild horses.
Snow leopard.
Wild horses.
Horses.
Otters.
Manatees.
Manatees.
Buffalo.
Okay, if we don't get it together in the next 50 to 100 years, they don't make it. So that's heavy. And we're not trying to take that lightly. That's a real problem. The other creatures ain't done nothing wrong. They ain't done nothing to deserve this. They weren't part of it. They didn't ask for it. And it generally bothers them. It's like, now I got to suffer because you wanted to do this thing, and then it didn't work out right. So the Elevator Center takes this quite seriously. At the same time, as clever and as cute as we are, going to my neighborhood in West Oakland, having conversations with a working single mother who has 2 jobs about polar bears drowning at the poles, that and a quarter won't get you the local paper. Nope. So it's a non-starter conversation. Yeah? Like we can do it, but it's hard. We gotta work and it's gotta be animated. This won't cut it. But when you start talking about people drowning, they're finishing our sentences. People are right there with us. We start talking about the impacts of climate change on everyday people, on their pocketbooks, on their realities, on their homes. That everybody where I'm from knew somebody who lost their home in New Orleans, or knows somebody now because they didn't move to the neighborhood. So people are right there with us. And right now, when we start talking about solutions, we start talking about solutions over here. This is another crowd participation one, just to gear you up. You ready? You ready? You want that? When people start talking about solutions over here, what does that mostly look like? Alternative energy. Prius.
Walk.
Solar panels.
Walk.
Bike.
Photovoltaic cells. Biking. So in general, biking is one that an awful lot of Chinese people do, especially in China. But in general, investment opportunities for people with capital and consumer opportunities for people with disposable income, which there are sadly fewer and fewer of us every day, especially with gas prices the way they are. So photovoltaics. opportunities for people to buy stuff or invest in stuff. But down here, let me share a sad story with you. In California, last year, 2 years ago, some really smart legislators came up with an awesome bill where they were going to tax oil companies for taking oil out of the ground in California and use that to invest in alternative energy. And they had baked into the way that they did this ballot measure, they baked in that the oil companies couldn't pass the prices on to consumers. They baked it in. Now that's clever. I don't even know how you do that. But you know what? It didn't matter. Because remember those slides I showed you earlier with Cameron Diaz and her wonderful hybrid and George Clooney, as slick and cool as he is? They were like, this is eco-elitism. And the oil companies came out and said, rich people who don't care nothing about how much you pay at the pump, they're going to raise oil prices. And the thing just tanked. Went down like 70%. I mean, like 70, just slaughter at the polls. Even though they kept saying, no, they can't. They were like, See, rich people who don't care about you, the eco-elite, the eco-chic, they're trying to do you dirty. Because there's nothing in it. There was no way to get to everyday people in this side of solution. So that's where we came in. That's our founder, Van Jones down in purple, and his young sister, and these brothers here. They're from a project called Solar Richmond. I was talking with my table mates earlier about Richmond. I spent some time there back in the day. Richmond is a working class suburb. Let me that's polite. Is a poor suburb of San Francisco. And these young men and young women are working in a program called Solar Richmond, where they learn skills of solar installation, and they put solar panels up on the houses of low-income people, seniors who own their homes, so that the meter spins backwards and PG&E pays grandmama instead of grandmama paying PG&E. And these young people get the skills, and what we call that is the fourth quadrant, green collar jobs. Now, you might be asking yourself, when is he going to be done? No, I'm kidding. You might be asking yourself, I thought he said he wasn't going to talk that long. What is a green collar job? Well, this is what a green collar job is. It's actually skilled manual labor in a green business. That's a business that cleans up the environment, not just adds pollution or waste. Yeah? Has entry-level work. People can get into it. Yeah? And has good pay and good benefits. It's not engaged in a race to the bottom. You say, yes, Jay, but still, what is a green collar job? Okay. So a green collar job are in these different industries. Right now, for some reason, it looks weird with the drop shadow. Okay. Fuel efficiency, solar power, green architecture, biomass, microturbines, environmental consulting. Some of these things still I'm just beginning to come to grips with. Other things aren't on the slide yet because they haven't been invented yet. Or they're being invented next week, tomorrow. There's this plan to put in New York Harbor and in the San Francisco Bay to put these water turbines that when the tides go in and out, they'll actually generate electricity. And don't actually stop the water flow. It's not like damming a river, which is actually bad, as we've been discovering over here for the salmon. But this is actually just, it's tidal power. So this is the work that we've been engaged in the last period. And this is what we've done. We first went to the city of Oakland, and we said, we found out from some of our friends that they had some money left over from an energy lawsuit settlement. I remember when Enron and other energy companies were fleecing California with those rolling blackouts and other western states. Well, some attorney generals got together and sued them, got the money back, but then in the lawsuit settlement, they said, oh, you can only use it for energy efficiency. Well, we said, great, we got some energy efficiency. Train people in jobs and working in alternative energy and energy efficiency. So we found they had some money left over. We went to the city council, and we got them to put $250,000, $250,000 on the table to launch a green job training program in Oakland called the Green Jobs Corps. That's going to launch later this summer. We were extremely excited about that. We thought, man, we're doing something. Maybe one day this will be like a national model once we get it off the ground. And this was last spring. And then